Welcome back to Gadget Spot. If you've ever run a live show with an ATEM switcher, you know how stressful it can be. Tiny buttons, packed close together, and no room for error. One wrong press, and you could cut the feed or switch to the wrong input. Plus, with everything depending on a single compact unit, there's always that fear. What if something goes wrong mid-show? That's why in this video, we're making things easier. We'll show you how to remotely control your ATEM switcher using a StreamDeck and Raspberry Pi. It's a smarter, safer way to manage live switching with less stress and more control. Let's get started. Alright, let me quickly show you the ATEM switchers I have here with me. First up is the ATEM Mini Pro, a great entry-level switcher, perfect for smaller productions and live streaming setups. But for today's demo, we're going to focus on the ATEM SDI Extreme. It's a bigger unit with more inputs, more outputs, and more control features, making it ideal for showcasing how powerful remote control can be. And don't worry, the setup process I'm about to show you works across the entire ATEM lineup, whether you have a Mini, Pro, Extreme, or SDI model. Now let's talk about what we're using here. We have a Raspberry Pi 4 or 5 running Bitfocus Companion, and we're pairing it with a StreamDeck. Watch the previous video for more details on the same. I actually have two versions of the StreamDeck, one StreamDeck 15 buttons and another StreamDeck XL with 32 buttons. But here's the thing, it's not just about 15 or 32 buttons. Companion gives you access to 99 pages, which means you can have 99 multiply 15 or 99 multiply 32 buttons overall. That's a massive number of controls at your fingertips. We'll dive into how all this works in detail shortly. And by the way, if you don't know how to install Companion on a Raspberry Pi or even on a computer, no worries. Just check out our previous video where we covered the full installation process step by step. Once the Pi is powered on and everything's connected, the next step is to open the Companion interface. To do that, go to any computer that's on the same network as your Raspberry Pi and open a browser. In the address bar, type your Raspberry Pi IP:8000. For example, in my case, it's 192.168.1.12:8000. This will open the Companion web UI where you can access all the configuration tools. When you open the Companion UI for the first time, you'll be guided through some basic setup steps. For most of these, you can simply click Next to proceed. However, two settings are important and should be configured carefully. Button grid size. This defines how many rows and columns your StreamDeck uses. For the StreamDeck XL, 32 buttons. Choose 4 rows, costs 8 columns. For the 15-button StreamDeck, select 3 rows x 5 columns. Second important setting is admin UI password. It's highly recommended to secure access to the Companion interface. Set a password of your choice. Define a session timeout. After this period of inactivity, the UI will lock and require the password again. This setup ensures that your Companion dashboard stays protected and correctly mapped to your hardware layout. Now, let's connect StreamDeck to Raspberry Pi. Simply plug your StreamDeck into any available USB port on the Raspberry Pi. Companion will automatically detect the StreamDeck and display it under the Surfaces tab. If it doesn't show up immediately, no worries. Just click the Rescan USB button. Once your StreamDeck is detected, it will show the first page of your button layout in the Surfaces tab. Now that the Companion UI is in front of you, let's take a quick tour. First, if you want more screen space, you can collapse the sidebar by clicking the 3 horizontal lines icon next to the Companion logo. Emulator. The emulator is a tool that mimics the StreamDeck interface directly in your browser. It behaves just like a physical StreamDeck and is useful for testing your setup without using actual hardware and allowing someone else to control buttons remotely. To create an emulator, go to the Surfaces tab in the Companion UI and click Add Emulator. Once added, you can open it in a browser window and start interacting with your Companion setup. Multiple emulators can be opened from different devices at the same time, and each one can view a different page. This makes it perfect for remote control or shared setups where not everyone has a StreamDeck. Web buttons. Web buttons display all of your Companion buttons across all pages on a single screen. This is helpful if you're using a tablet or browser-based control surface. Just keep in mind, web buttons do not support page changes triggered by button actions. They don't behave like a true surface in Companion, so they don't follow page navigation. Together, the emulator and web buttons offer great flexibility when you're not using a StreamDeck or need easy remote access. Now let's head over to the Configuration GUI. This is the heart of Bitfocus Companion, where all your connections, buttons, and actions are set up. The configuration section is divided into 7 tabs. We'll start with the most important one, Connections. From the Connections tab, you can add, configure, or remove devices. You can also check the status of each connection and see details like the device type, label, and IP address. Let's walk through this by adding our ATEM SDI Extreme switcher. First, power on your ATEM switcher. Then connect it to the same local network as your Raspberry Pi using a LAN cable. It's important that both the Raspberry Pi and the ATEM switcher are on the same network. Now, in the Companion user interface, go to the Connections tab, scroll through the available devices, or use the search bar to find Blackmagic Design ATEM. Click on the ATEM option from the list and press the Add button. The device will now appear on the left side under the Connections list. To configure this device, click on it. You'll now see a section labeled Devices in the connection settings. Here you have two options. You can either manually enter the IP address of your ATEM or select the device automatically if Companion detects it on your network. You'll also have an option to select the model of the ATEM. This can be done manually or automatically as well. If you're entering manually, just type the IP address of your ATEM SDI Extreme and from the model drop-down, choose ATEM SDI Extreme. Once done, hit Save. Your ATEM should now appear in the list of connections, and if everything is correct, the status will show as connected. This confirms that your ATEM is now successfully linked to Companion and is ready for remote control using your StreamDeck. In the Buttons tab, you can configure the layout and actions for your StreamDeck. The number of buttons in the grid depends on your StreamDeck model, but you can also expand the grid in any direction by adjusting the settings. The button layout supports multiple pages, which you can switch between using the gray arrow icons or the drop-down menu at the top. Each of these pages is also listed in the Pages tab on the right panel. This is where you can manage all your pages, rename them for easy reference, organize them, or create new ones as needed. To quickly test a button, simply hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click on any button in the grid. It'll trigger, just like it would on a physical StreamDeck. This flexibility lets you build complex workflows, control multiple devices, and stay organized using as many as 99 pages of buttons. Let's look at presets. These are ready-made buttons with text, actions, and feedback. They help you get started quickly and are available for many devices. Once the device is connected, you'll find a library of presets specific to that devices. As in our case, we can see presets available for the ATEM SDI Extreme. Just drag and drop a preset onto your button grid and it's ready to use. They're a great way to get started quickly without setting up everything from scratch. While presets are handy, you can always customize buttons further by editing their actions and feedback. Above the button grid, you'll find a few helpful tools. View Scale lets you zoom in or out of the grid. Home Position snaps your view back to the top left corner. Edit Page allows you to rename or adjust settings for the current page. Export Page lets you export just that page's buttons for use elsewhere. You'll also see actions like copy, move, swap, and delete. Click the action, then the source button, and finally the destination button. You can also use keyboard shortcuts. Finally, there are two page reset options. Wipe Page clears all buttons and resets navigation, while Reset Page buttons only restores the default navigation buttons without deleting the rest. Next, we have Surfaces. This tab is where your StreamDeck or other control panels come to life. You can assign pages, layouts, and even manage multiple control surfaces with ease. If you've connected your StreamDeck but don't see it in the list under Surfaces, simply click Rescan USB. Your connected StreamDeck should show up immediately. Triggers take things to the next level. Want something to happen automatically based on time or a device status? Triggers let you automate your workflows effortlessly. With variables, you can get dynamic. These allow you to display live data like timers, device status, or custom text directly on your buttons. Over in settings, you'll find all the essential preferences and system options. From themes to backups, this is where you fine-tune how Companion behaves. Need to move your setup to another machine or back things up? Head to the Import-Export tab. Easy save, load, and share options built right in. And finally, there's the Log tab. It shows real-time status and error messages to help you debug and monitor everything going on behind the scenes. With all these tools at your fingertips, the Companion interface becomes your ultimate command center. Clean, efficient, and built to scale with your creativity. Typically, I like to use page 1 as the main page, a kind of dashboard that links out to different pages for different devices or functions. It helps keep everything organized and makes navigation during a live production smooth and stress-free. Before adding any buttons, let's go ahead and create page 2. Which we'll use exclusively for controlling the ATEM switcher. To do that, head over to the Pages tab on the right-hand side, click the plus icon, and name the new page something like ATEM Controls. This will be our dedicated space for switching inputs, triggering transitions, and managing all ATEM functions. Once page 2 is ready, we'll return to page 1 and add a button that links to this new ATEM page. Click on any empty button slot on page 1. On the right panel, click Create Button. Once you do that, you'll see a set of options to customize the button. Let's start by giving it a clear label. Type in ATEM Control so it's easy to recognize at a glance. Next, under Press Actions, choose the action called Internal Surface, Set to Page. From the drop-down, select Page 2, which we just named ATEM Controls. The changes will appear instantly on your StreamDeck, perfectly reflecting what you've just set up in Companion. Now, whenever we press the ATEM control button on the StreamDeck, it will switch us to page 2, where we'll start building out all the custom camera switching and transition controls. Now it's time to start building the actual camera controls for the ATEM switcher. Make sure you're on page 2, which we named ATEM Controls. You can get there by selecting it from the Pages drop-down menu. Before we begin adding camera buttons, let's tidy things up for a cleaner workspace. By default, Companion might have placed navigation buttons or placeholders on the page. Remove the existing buttons by deleting them one by one. Now let's add a Back to Main Page button so we can return to page 1 anytime. Click on any empty top corner button. Press Create button and label it Back to Main. Under Press Actions, select Internal Surface, Set to Page and set it to page 1. This way, even though we're clearing the page, we keep a simple navigation system in place without cluttering our layout. Now let's begin building out our main ATEM switching controls. We'll start by adding all 8 camera inputs for both program and preview, and then add the cut and auto transition buttons. In the Presets tab, scroll to find your connected ATEM device, ATEM SDI Extreme in our case. Look for the Program Input section. Drag Program Input 1 to an empty button slot. Repeat this for Program Input 2 through Program Input 8, placing each on its own button. Now go to Preview Presets and follow the same process for Preview Input 1 through Preview Input 8, placing them in order to maintain a clear, intuitive layout. Next, let's add transition controls to switch between Preview and Program. Go to the ATEM Presets section and locate the transition presets. Drag and drop Cut and Auto onto 2 empty button slots. Cut gives you an instant switch, while Auto performs a smooth transition using the current effect. We've placed the StreamDeck right next to the ATEM SDI Extreme so you can clearly see the actions triggered on the StreamDeck taking effect directly on the ATEM switcher. This helps us verify that the connection is working perfectly and that every button press results in real-time control. Alright, now let's test the buttons we just created. On the StreamDeck, I'll start by pressing one of the preview buttons. Watch the ATEM's preview monitor. Yep, it updates instantly. Now I'll try selecting a program input. And as expected, it switches the live output immediately. Next, let's try a transition. I'll hit the cut button, and just like that, we get an instant switch to the selected preview input. Now, let's test auto, and you can see a smooth transition using the preset effect. All these actions are happening in real time, and you can see them reflected instantly on our program and preview monitors. This proves that our StreamDeck is now fully synced and controlling the ATEM switcher, clean, responsive, and super reliable. Now that we've got basic switching and transitions working, let's talk about what else you can control from your StreamDeck when it's paired with Companion and the ATEM switcher. There's a lot more power under the hood. For example, you can start or stop streaming and recording directly from a button press. No need to dive into software menus, just one tap and you're live. You can also control audio levels, mute, unmute, or even fade in audio from different sources, mic inputs, media players, or camera feeds. Need to overlay graphics or logos? That's where upstream and downstream keys come in. You can create buttons to toggle these keys on and off, perfect for live overlays, name tags, or branding elements. Then there are macros. You can trigger pre-programmed sequences of actions like switching a camera, changing an audio input, and firing a graphic, all with a single button. This is perfect for complex shows where timing is everything. You can even control media players within the ATEM, switch graphics, videos, and stills, all from your StreamDeck. And because Companion supports multi-step actions, you can build layered controls, like fading to black and stopping the stream at once with a single button. In short, once you get the basics down, the StreamDeck becomes a fully customized control surface for your live production, tailored exactly to your workflow. Alright, now it's time for you to jump in and try it yourself. To help you get up and running quickly, I've created a free ATEM Companion profile that includes all the button actions and settings we configured in this video. You can download the profile using the link provided in the video description. After downloading the .companion config file, open Companion on your computer and go to the Import/Export tab. Click on Import Configuration, then select the file you downloaded. When prompted, click Reset and Import to load the new configuration. This will replace your current setup with the profile from the video, so make sure to back up your own settings if needed. Once the import is complete, go to the Connections tab and update the IP address of your ATEM switcher so it matches your network. That's it. You now have a fully functional setup as demonstrated, ready to use and customize further. So go ahead, download it, try it out, and make it your own. Here's a super tip that can save you time, money, and desk space, especially if you don't have a physical StreamDeck handy. You can actually turn your mobile phone or tablet into a virtual StreamDeck by using the Companion emulator. Here's how you do it. Open the Companion UI and click on the Emulator tab. This launches a browser-based version of your StreamDeck interface. Now, copy the emulator URL and open it on your mobile phone's browser. Rotate your phone to landscape mode for the best experience. And just like that, your phone becomes a fully functional control surface. It works in real time, tap a button on your phone, and the ATEM switcher responds instantly. Perfect for wireless control or as a backup when you're on the move. Simple, effective, and no extra hardware needed. Try it out. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. Happy switching, and I'll see you in the next video.